What's up, everybody? I'm back, and I'm kinda doing a movie review, kinda not. But I just got home from seeing the new Ghostbusters movie. Guys probably didn't even know there was a Ghostbusters coming out. Spider-Man kind of took the reins there. But yeah, they did they did another one called Ghostbusters Afterlife. And I'm going to talk about why this is the true sequel to the Ghostbusters, to the first Ghostbusters, and why we can kind of disregard you know what from about 5 years ago. We're going to dive into all of that. If you don't want any spoilers at all, click off now and go watch Ghostbusters Afterlife, or go watch even the first Ghostbusters. Or if you want to put yourself through hell, go watch the second Ghostbusters from 2016. The second Ghostbusters remake kind of thing. Go click off now, go watch those, and then come back and watch this. It'll be up here for a long time. I know I said I was going to stop doing movie reviews. I am going to continue it next year for one movie. You might know what that movie is if you know me. But I felt like I needed to do this because didn't have very many expectations going into this movie. But I liked it. I thought it did a perfect job. It was like a revival, a sequel, whatever you want to call it. And I kind of wanted to touch on that. I'm not going to go too deep into the movie itself. I just wanted to touch into some aspects of it that make it a good revival, make it a good sequel, that kind of thing. So, let me jump into it. So, a movie that I'm going to compare here a little bit to, it's not going to be very accurate, but it's going to be Cars 3. You guys know Cars 2 is kind of like the 2016 Ghostbusters. We kind of throw it out of the water. It's not really part of the main series. Look at the first one, look at the third one, and talk about first Ghostbusters, 1984, cast. It was a great movie, that kind of thing. I'm not the biggest Ghostbusters fan, but I do like the movies. And then then they brought on women. Okay, Melissa McCarthy, all of them, right? And yeah, you could probably figure out how that went. No, I mean, it was bad. It was bad. They just tried to recreate the first one, but with women and trying to make modern jokes that were bad because it was 2016. That was a bad year. Well, before 2020 and 2021 came along. But you know what? Before the now came along. But, then we get this one. And I think this movie did an amazing job in incorporating the cast, a new cast, with the old cast, okay? A lot of these movies, when they bring old characters back from previous movies or previous shows and put them with new people, they have a hard time connecting the two and making them work. I think they did that perfectly, or pretty much flawlessly, in this Ghostbusters remake here. Not a remake, it's more like a sequel kind of thing. I think there was plenty of awesome old touches and reminiscences to the first movie, putting it into some sort of modern light. And they did a great job connecting, because what they usually do, right? What they usually do with these movies is they'll have the old character come back, and they'll be like old, like you think like sports movies, some action movies, superhero movies as well. This is really not a superhero movie or a sports movie, but it's kind of like a hero movie, And they want the hero to come back, and they want the hero to, succeed and do what they used to do, but they don't know how, or they're trying to adapt to this new light. And then they get somebody young, somebody new who was a fan of theirs back in their prime, or knows about them, or befriends them and gets them adapted. And then the new character ends up becoming the main character at the end of the movie in like a plot twist sort of situation. And then boom. Oh my god, excuse me. And then boom. They're the new character. They're the winner. Yay! Yay, yay for heroism. Yay for inclusion. That kind of thing, right? Cars 3 did that to a T. But what they did here is they made it so that the new characters developed on their own, using reminiscences of the past. the car and the gadgets and the stuff interacting with their grandpa's ghost and recreating all this sort of stuff. And then at the end of the movie, the old guys come back in and save them, and then they work together to make this what it is. And that right there is what I was like, when I saw that moment, I was like, yes, thank God. Because I've been dying to see that. I've been dying for them to properly incorporate the old characters as well as incorporate the new ones. When they bring these old revivals back, they either just keep them off screen and for references, or they just use them they just use them as like, oh, you don't do this or don't do that. Or they bring them on and they just give their title away to a new guy who's like 10 times as sucky as they are. And this one, they're like, nope, we're going to step in at the very end. We're going to reunite. We're going to have this awesome moment. We're going to save the world. And we're going to teach these new kids. Oh my God, they're so cool. And they're going to be with us. And this is the new Ghostbusters. And we can come together. And this is the future. Perfect collisions of the past and the present. I have never seen a movie that has done that so flawlessly. I want to give a touch on to the ending as well. I think the ending was a very heartwarming moment, with the reuniting with the ghost of their grandfather or dad. That was like, especially with all the you could see the brokenness in the family sort of thing, and then they all come together. So the friends come back together. That was a very heartwarming moment, and then I knew what I thought. I thought the guy that she called at the when they were in jail, I thought he was going to be the only one to come back and save them. I did not think all three of them were going to come back. I had a feeling Bill Murray was going to come back because he's still kind of relevant in Hollywood. The other two, though, I didn't think they were going to come back. Then they call one of the other guys. They didn't even call Bill Murray. Again, I'm not huge into Ghostbusters, so there's probably a reason behind that. Any other big fans, please comment down below why that is. But I was glad all three of them came back, and I think it actually worked better that all three of them came back. And I think there was a little bit more story arc that they were kind of missing. They had like two love stories going on. One of them with the teen, with the boy. They didn't really touch on that at all. They didn't really go as far in depth of that as I think they wanted to. I think they should have. And the other one they went pretty good into. I think they did a good enough job of them going to Walmart. I thought that was hilarious for all that stuff to happen. Product placement. I think that was really funny. The sidekick to Phoebe. I mean, that was I did not. He had some funny jokes, and he played his character really well. He gave me such a headache because but whatever. That's the point of the character. So he did that well. But I mean, what other sequel have they done this? I mean, it is perfect. I have never Ghostbusters Afterlife for me, I think is the best sequel, maybe third best sequel that I've ever seen. The other one, Lost World Jurassic Park and Home Alone 2. I think those are the only two that I think this comes in third. Then again, I love Home Alone more and Jurassic Park more than I do Ghostbusters, but I think this is the perfect modern sequel. I think a lot of movies should look at this. Say, hey, okay, we don't need to redevelop the main characters from the last movie all the way through this movie and then hand it off to a new character that we introduced halfway through the movie and then make them the main character and then never work with it again. Let's bring them in at the end. Let's bring references so that these new characters can develop themselves in the old light with the old props and the old ways and the old techniques and stuff like that. And then bring the old guys on at the end. And they did that perfectly with them, straining each other. The girl gets caught, turned into a dog, whatever, that kind of thing. I think it was just executed perfectly. And I love that. It was a huge refresher. So I really enjoyed this movie. I don't know if I call this a movie review, but I will give it I'll give it a 9 out of 10 on my movie scale review. I guess I can call it a movie review, I guess. a little bit off kilter, but if you guys are dying to go back to the movies after seeing Spider-Man, because I know everybody's seeing Spider-Man, I have not seen Spider-Man. I haven't even seen Endgame, so yeah, suck it, okay? But if you're dying to, I won't go back to the theaters. I recommend seeing this movie. Go watch the first Ghostbusters from 1984 first, then go see this movie. So you know what you're talking about. You don't have to watch the 2016 one. You can forget about that. That movie's irrelevant now. We have the actual sequel. We don't have to keep referencing that one. So thank God, 'cause that movie sucked. And yeah, that's what I recommend for you guys to do. So if you guys seen the movie, or if you guys think about my points, leave in the comments down below. Think of another good sequel that has done really well. And till next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.